I'm Nick, and this is Kenny. We're the Malt Vault. Strap on.
I did my last episode with sunglasses, so this episode I'm going to be very not accustomed to the sun. All right. Thanks for joining us today as we step into what has become very popular in our Midwest arena, Brewdog beer.
The punk rock revolution. Post-apocalyptic. Today we're also joined by another Rich. We're Rich in this podcast episode of Kenny Quickback and Joey, who's our collab guest from his podcast.
We have Joey from Comics Over Coffee with us today. So everyone give him a warm welcome.
Yes,
thank you. Thank you. All right, keep the applause till the end.
This is his first video footage, so
yeah, he's never been captured.
Easy on
he's
the
like
eyes.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, I apologize to all your viewers.
He's like Bigfoot.
Makes my beard look like shit.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's nice to be on like a legitimate podcast. I'm glad you guys flew me out today.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to accomplish it. I didn't know if our schedules would align with how many things we got in the works, but man,
I'm an open schedule.
Yeah. Well, I meant mine and his.
But we have no job, so why is
yeah. Well, I got a lot of offers.
Time
now.
is a construct.
Like
well, this is my job.
Joe Rogan was asking if I could help him out this week, but I'm too booked. So, but we're going with Brewdog, Scottish based, Scottish started. And
2007,
and then now it's making its way over here, across the pond to the United States. So they got a good number of kind of flagship, not flagship, but good number of kind of mainstays in their line that we're going to kind of go over.
Yeah, Punk IPA is one that we have. Kenny's drinking.
This is a Hazy Jane, which is like a hazy IPA, but this is the peach version. And so this is hence the color branding on there.
Because of the fact that I'm a big movie aficionado, I'm drinking the Bushwood beer, the Caddyshack, which is
don't be modest,
on the lighter side. And I am not a big IPA fan, so I respect your guys' opinion on an IPA because I really don't have much to bring to the table there.
To be clear,
it is very nice that Joey's traded in coffee for beer.
Oh,
yeah.
Put your big boy pants on, but we are not wearing pants this episode, so please don't look below the belt.
To be clear, I do usually put a splash of something in my coffee when I'm recording anyways.
Yeah.
Is that a rich family tradition? Because I feel like I've had Irish coffee with your brother quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a daily occurrence, I would say.
Yeah. Nightly.
Semi-daily, maybe.
To be clear, the two that Nick and I are enjoying this this Chris Pilsner Bushwood beer from Caddyshack sponsored, and the new Hazy Jane Peach. These are not like mainstays. These are kind of seasonal one-offs. Mostly they're Punk IPA, the Hazy Jane like traditional, and then the Elvis Juice is like probably the biggest one around this area, I'd say.
Do you want me to tell you about Untapped real fast before we dive into the history?
You got some scores on what other people are thinking, and we can talk about. Maybe we'll talk about what we're thinking on these.
So, Punk IPA is a 5.2% ABV with a 35 IBU. It's a 3.72 on nearly 500,000 ratings. So people are definitely mailing it in from Scotland to let us know what they think about beer.
It's more big over there in like European countries. I think. I don't know. We'll have to get into how far they've spread into traditional, like other European countries, but I know they were based out of Denmark. They were very big before they made it to the United States there. So I don't know,
Yeah, the reason why I'm not a big IPA fan, and maybe this is just like a weird PTSD, but like I grew up with women in the house, and there was there's a huge correlation to me between the smell of hairspray and drinking an IPA. But like Untapped will tell you that there's a burst of caramel and tropical fruit in the Punk IPA, but I just don't catch that in an IPA. But good on them for
what about Elvis
telling
juice?
us.
You don't get the grapefruit in there.
I've never been a grapefruit fan, but again, teach his own. Speaking of Elvis Juice, it's a 40 IBU, so a little bit more bitter than Punk IPA. 6.5% ABV, so a little bit more hair on the peaches.
Like that one.
And that has about gross 355,000 ratings on Untappd, so a little less clout on that. And I guess if just to hammer them all out here, the Caddyshack that I'm drinking is a 5%, so a little bit weaker. 3.47 on 22 ratings, so very new to the Untappd scene, but not applicable in the IPU department.
Brewdog's been going really crazy with this these little craft things that they're doing, like these one-offs, like this Caddyshack partnership branding. They also had one, I think, with Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
and I think they also did
good.
something with Lord of the Rings. So I don't know how you get Lord of the Rings to sign off and putting their logo on your beer, but
you give money to J.K. Rowling.
Brewdog
is it Tolkien?
Christopher Tolkien these days.
Thank you. My bad.
Is that the guy that's in?
That's the J.R.
I did Harry
Tolkien's
Potter,
son.
didn't I?
Yes.
Okay, my bad.
He's in charge of the Tolkien estate at the moment.
This is why we have Joey here, because he is.
So he's the one to blame for the Amazon that shitty Amazon show.
Actually, I don't know that he fully gave that his blessing. They I think they may have just used what they had the rights to already, which is not the full.
But they said Rings of Power, like
they have the rights to Lord of the Rings because I think they bought it from whoever had.
So they might not even
movie
be
rights before.
They might not even be canon then, like as far as Tolkien's storylines.
It's a touchy subject, depending on who you ask.
I haven't watched it yet, so
a lot of intrigue.
It's a decent show.
Kenny Quickpack. Do we need to give him a nickname if he's going to join us from time to time?
Joey from Comics Over Coffee.
Okay.
Well, it remains to be seen if he'll be a normal contributor.
We'll put that on the list. We'll put it on the ledger. It might be an option.
I'm sure your listeners will all write in.
Joey, you're also a shareholder too.
That's not fair because Joey's a listener, so he'll write in for a request.
Are you not a shareholder?
I am indeed a shareholder. If
you're with esteemed.
If you can call what Brewdog does as shareholders, but
yeah, explain that to us. What's your kind of setup with them?
So it's really interesting. They basically use this as a crowdfunding opportunity to get a bunch of cash flow. When they moved over to America, they opened up a round of they call it equity for punks. They branded the punk nomenclature there, but they basically just pick a share price and tell you that that's what the price is, and you can buy as many shares as you like. You get different tiers of access based on how many shares you buy. You get different benefits when you go to the Brewdog bars or Brewdog shops online.
Yeah,
I do have the current equity for punks benefits pulled up if you guys are curious.
Yeah,
if you'd like to be an investor,
because maybe I'm an investor. Possibly.
Yeah, go ahead. Are you on the UK-ELP update website? Is that the same one you're on?
I am, yes. So I'm not positive this is the same benefits that we have for
American
US customers, but lifetime discount at bars and online shop.
Mm-hmm.
Free beer on your birthday.
There you go.
Have you taken advantage of that yet?
I never got my badge that I was supposed to get.
Oh, you're supposed to get a badge?
I'm assuming I can. It's like Kroger. I can just give them my
Stephen
phone number, right?
I don't know. The cops don't give people phone numbers when they arrest them. They have badges.
That's true. You, apparently, in the UK, you get your own tree planted in the Brewdog forest, which was not something that I got as an equity member.
We could sneak in and make that happen.
I got pulled over one time by a police officer, and he goes, have you been out drinking? And I said, I'm 35, dude. I've been out drinking plenty of times. Just wanted to throw that little side story in.
He let you go?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, nice.
He liked the beard. I was in Scotland.
Do you have a beard?
I was on a bike.
You have a beard?
It was a Segway.
You were driving a Segway?
Yeah, it was relatively new, so they didn't know how to cite me. They're like, what is this thing that you're on?
What the hell was the speed limit, and how were you going over it?
27.
That was 27. That's a very odd speed limit. I've never seen a 27
speed
limit.
It was a campground speed limit. They do that sometimes.
Something like that.
All right, so you said Brewdog Forest, we're going to sneak in. We're going to plant a Norway spruce just to mess them up.
I'd actually like, if we're going to sneak in, can we just take a tree? I'd like to just...
Oh, that's illegal.
I mean, we're going to replant it.
Johnny Appleseed
Probably
would not be
punishable
pleased
by
with you,
death in the
Joe.
United Kingdom. There can't be that many trees there.
Joseph.
But you'll also get a copy of this beautiful book here, Craft Beer for the People.
Yeah.
Which took approximately 4 to 5 weeks for me to get at the local Brewdog hotel.
Did you wait at the hotel for it?
Yes, I spent 4 weeks at the hotel.
Well, at least they probably fed you and bathed you and gave you water.
I got a refrigerator in my shower every day. It was real nice.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Give them basic necessities of life: food, shelter, beverage.
We give them
air.
bed. We give them breakfast. It's not a bed and breakfast. Jeez. It says you get a badge. That must suck because you didn't get one.
I never got my badge.
You should call bullshit on that. Maybe they'll give you 10.
I do see
can
that
pass them out
that
like
Equity
candy.
for Punks thing was able to raise 30.2 million pounds. So that was a decent crowdfunding venture for them.
How many tons is that?
I don't know. British people, what is their conversion rate? Tons to pounds?
Tons o pounds.
You could probably retire with 2 tons. I don't know. Maybe
It's in Scotland. Oh wait, that's Ireland. Tons o pounds.
So let's do a quick history, if we will, because this is a lot newer than a lot of beers we've done. This isn't a Stroh's granddaddy's great-great-grandfather. This was 2 dudes, James Watt and Martin Dickey, decided in 2007 they were fed up with the stuffed United Kingdom beer market. So at the ages of 24, they decided they'd do something about it. Good for them, young gun and entrepreneurs. Thanks to some very scary bank loans, they started making their own hardcore craft beers in Fraserburgh in northeast Scotland. So, of course, this is out in Scotland, not here. But they took out some big-ass loans at the age of 24, started making and drinking and tasting different beers. I mean, that's cool. That's ballsy. You know, man, I wish I could do something like that. I wish I had the guts. They made tiny batches, filled their bottles by hand, and sold their beers at local markets out of a beaten-up old van. Brewdog was started.
From what I read, they actually lied to the bank to get their loan as well.
Yeah, it says then go ahead. So did you read
Risk
more
takers,
about this?
man.
Or?
I didn't read too much about that specifically, but I was in the list of controversies that they've had happen, which is a surprisingly long list for a company
for
that's been
such a
around
new
since
company.
2007. Yeah,
I mean, like we talked about how like Stroh's was really there's a lot of rhetoric about them starting the microbrewery revolution, but really like with how problematic and like polarizing Brewdog has been, I really feel like I can make a statement of fact that I feel that they are more I can't think of the right word.
You all right?
Yeah, I had a brain fart there for a second. That they're more responsible for the microbrew revolution because the names of a lot of their beers are really controversial. Like,
well, yeah, it just depends.
Kenny's got this. You
they
got
definitely
that. Show the viewers.
They definitely go to more of like a punk rock. I don't know, vibe coming off of them more so than other places. But you had you had the classic Sam Adams and stuff in America, at least. That's like in the 80s, microbreweries, still kind of a craft. They still consider Yingling a craft beer at this point a little bit.
You said, I don't know, man, because Sam Adams was a lifetime of breweries,
he came
a
from
lineage
big beer.
of brewers.
Yeah, he came from big beer. It's just the words craft beer and like microbrewery are just kind of subjective sometimes. I don't know. But yeah, no, I definitely agree that they are risk takers and they are killing it right now. At least in Ohio. And I haven't seen how this has moved. I know they're planning on, they have like world domination. If you like read their websites, they have like world domination aspirations. So they're wanting to like open stuff up in like every single state and they're hungry. And that shows from their history, they took on a ton of loans in 2007, 2008 to get started. It says in 2008, they were able to somehow persuade the bank to give them more money, which they used to mastermind UK's strongest beer ever made, Tokyo. I don't know. Yeah. This is from their statements. I don't know much about Tokyo.
They definitely step up their game with the ABV. Like I know Joey and I discussed like a lot of the hierarchy of their ABV and how it's grown. And there's the one that just came out, Strength in Numbers. It's like 57.8%. It's basically gasoline. But
yeah,
you bring up an interesting point, and I kind of want to open this up for discussion. What is your definition of a craft brewery?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
like,
I don't have one.
The more that we've talked about beer and the history of brewers, it seems like we want to put massive brewers and big brewers in a category of themselves of like a lineage of like 18th, 17th, 19th century brewers that have a lineage passed on from Germany. And I feel like all these other brewers, I think we could categorize as more like trailblazers, where they're starting new without a lineage of it. They're trying to, become more diverse and unique in their own way.
I guess when I think of craft brewery or a microbrewery, I just think of someone who's claiming to fight against big beer. But that could be
that's
also a big beer company that, this could be funded. I mean, it's not, but you could come out with Brewdog, and then it could be just funded by, Yuengling or Budweiser or something. Like I said, Yuengling still claims to be a craft brewery.
And a lot of craft brewers have been bought by big beer, too. They sell out.
When I say it's subjective, I just mean like...
Everybody's their own definition.
A long time ago, before distribution and transportation and communication was like we lived in like these little towns, right? And we brewed our own beers. There wasn't like a huge distribution network, but as our transportation was able to be, the advent of the railroad and semi trucks and all this stuff, and being able to have refrigerated shipments where we could send it across the country, and you could have a Coors on the East Coast and the West Coast or whatever. And now you have more like small breweries are popping up, but this isn't small. I mean, this is Scotland trying to come in and push their European mass marketed thing into America. So it's not a small mom and pop shop. You know what I mean? We're not sipping on something that some guy down the road brewed and is selling at the market. This is Scotland's number one beer that they're bringing here. They do fun advertisements and stuff.
Yeah,
and jump in, but they want to dominate the market just like Budweiser or somebody else would want to.
They went from like 2 employees and like no shareholders on 185,000 pints a year to 160 million pints a year, 2,000 employees and 205,000 shareholders, which we have the pleasure of having one of those here in our studio today. I mean, like, they have 3 hotels. I mean, that's pretty cool. I've personally been there twice. I have not personally stayed there with a dog, but I hear it's very dog friendly. That's like a very cool, unique
get a hotel
niche.
room with a dog. They won't look at you right.
Yeah, well, nevertheless, they have shower beers. They have a cooler in their shower. Like, if you are in the Central Ohio area, it is a disservice to yourself and your experiences of beer to not stay at Brewdog's hotel. Like, incredible brunch, incredible dinner, really cool ambiance, outdoor activities, shower beers. You can actually be a part of, like, witness some of the brewing process, and they even have a history. I don't know what you would call it. Almost like a museum, even though it's a relatively contemporary brewery. It's very, very cool. Have you stayed as a shareholder? Have you stayed in the hotel, Joey? What's your...
I have not personally stayed there, but I have spent some time in a hotel room that someone I knew had, rented out, and it is very nice. The shower, refrigerators. If you stay on the inside of the building, I think your window looks out over the actual brewery, so you can see the.
It's like a fermentation room.
You're the fermentation room. That's where we stayed. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then they bring you you get like a mini keg in your room too.
Yeah,
I think with each hotel room
with a tap.
comes with a mini keg.
And I believe it came with unlimited refills too.
Did it? I think the shower beers you might have had to pay for.
Yeah, you pay for the shower
like
beers,
a mini
but you
in a
can
hotel.
get the keg, and you can do that. They'll replace that.
So 2009. So they start in 2007. They get loans. 2009, the banks finally stopped giving us money. So we launched our groundbreaking Equity for Punks, offering people to buy shares. 1,300 people immediately invest, and our anti-business business model is born. I don't know what they mean. They're just trying to sound hip.
I mean, they're trying to go against big beer, basically.
Yeah.
To become big beer, though.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the big controversies.
What year did you say they did the Equity for Punks?
2009.
Yeah. I was gonna say because it jumps from like two shareholders to 1.3,
and that's when they made the they tried to push boundary, like they're just trying to their marketing campaign is that they are doing things no one's ever done before, which is true. We continue to push boundaries. We brewed the world's strongest ever beer, Tactical Nuclear Penguin, at 32% alcohol. We also aged a beer on the deck of a fishing boat and grew our business by 200% in the worst recession for generations. So.
Yeah.
they did some cool things, some kind of new revolutionary things. I mean, every year they have an update where they're doing something crazy. 2 years later, they were in London and Glasgow and Edinburgh. They were moving all over. What year did they actually come to the United States?
United States. I
I
think
believe it was
2019.
2019.
19?
2019, yeah.
Stateside. No. Wait. Sorry. Go ahead.
2015.
2015.
Yeah, going stateside.
Yep. It just says 7. Yeah, new bars, a bunch of stuff.
I was going to say, I definitely went there after my daughters were born.
So are they the Budweiser of Scotland? If you go to Scotland, is this everywhere? Is this what everyone's drinking?
Is Carling still pretty big?
Well, Carling, yeah, everywhere.
I don't know, Joey, what are your thoughts?
Denmark?
As a shareholder, I want to know your thoughts. And actually, I do have a follow-up. How's their relationship with the Portman Group right now? Because that's who a lot of their controversy's been centered around. Is that their financier that they've been kind of fighting back and forth with?
Yeah, I don't honestly know too much about the Portman Group. I know they did have a lot of controversy. You mentioned their marketing earlier, Kenny, which is what a lot of their controversy has come from, is their aggressive marketing strategy, which the funniest thing that I found in my research of Brewdog is in 2008, they had, aggressive marketing accusations, led to a long court battle, and they eventually got out of it. But immediately afterwards, they released a beer called Speedball.
Yeah.
And they were quoted as saying,
Heroin and
we
cocaine.
thought we would give them something worth banning us for.
Okay.
I mean, they really doubled down on the punk apocalyptic, or post-apocalyptic punk revolution. Like, that's if you want to really double down and just own up to what you call yourself in your mission statement, that's one way to do it.
So I found an article when I was reading through some of this stuff, and it said, and it was confusing because it said, this article is from 2017. It says, Elvis Presley's estate forces brewer to change name of Elvis Juice IPA, which I'm like, no, we still have it 5 years later, 6 years later. So I start reading through. Elvis Presley's estate sent a copyright infringement notice over the use of the name Elvis, which that's what, he went by, obviously. So that's, I was seeing how it panned out, but it says the Brewdog co-founders, James Watt and Martin Dickey, responded by legally changing their names, both of their names, to Elvis, to show that Presley wasn't the only Elvis in the world. So that's kind of a cool move. Like,
I like the annex.
They didn't just fight it and get these like stiff suit lawyers. They were like, all right, fuck it, we'll go change our name, and our names are both now legally Elvis. So what are you gonna do?
It's funny that you say that because they legally changed their name, because Watt studied economics and law, and Dickey did all the brewing, like research and education. So they really do have a pretty diverse background of like understanding how the law works, understanding how economics work, and then also understanding how to brew good beer. Yeah. So I mean, like it really is a perfect storm for them, because they're just like, call our bluff. We'll show you that we don't give a shit. Like, it's kind of what you would think a punk would do. So I mean, they really do meet the persona. They really do meet the environment that they, chose to create. Yeah. So, I mean, I personally like the beer.
This one specifically.
I like this one. This is the first time I've
had
had this, so you're seeing it here first.
So that's a Bushwood Best. What's describe that one to me?
Crisp Pilsner.
Okay. And you like that one?
I do. I like the can. The can art is really cool. I'm a movie buff. I think they do a great job with the decoration of their brew cans, their bottles.
They have the Cannon Blast. They partnered with the Columbus
CBJ.
Blue Jackets.
Yeah.
Their marketing strategy and branding strategy, particularly in America, with all of the different types of beer that they've come out with over the last few years, it reminds me kind of like the Ricky Bobby quote. It's like, it wasn't good, but like it died immediately. But it's just exciting that we're trying shit like this, right?
That's fair. Yeah, you're gonna just open one of these beers and it'll be 99% alcohol. And I don't know what they're doing now. They've announced plans for a Vegas brewery and then building their biggest ever venue. So their money's not an issue for them right now. They're pouring everything into this company, and it's kind of working out. 30.2 million pounds. What's that, like probably $40 million American. And then they are collaborating with some monks, because a lot of monks are famous for drinking beers, I guess. I don't know. but they're collaborating with some Trappist monk breweries to come out with probably some mead like dark cider things. I don't know.
I read some stuff in controversy about
beer.
I read some stuff that's interesting. Monk beer. I mean, don't they take a vow of silence?
You can. I wish you'd take a vow of silence.
It's a jungle out there.
Yeah.
Don't make me stand up. Nobody
That's
wants
the
to
USA.
see that. I have
That's
no
the
pants
USA
on.
monk.
It's a Monk TV show reference.
It's a jungle out there.
The funny thing that I read was that, well, it's not funny. I shouldn't say that. Now I feel really bad.
Well, maybe we
But
should.
there was
take
a lot of
break for people
employees
forget.
that actually like filed like anti-bullying and
It's hilarious.
dick.
You said it was
I
hilarious.
know, and I immediately redacted that statement because I felt terrible. I didn't realize that I called it funny. They had some claims that they had to publicly apologize for, though, because of the rapid growth that they had in the teens. A lot of the employees said that they were worked in unfair and too fast pace of working conditions that they felt bullied. I don't know.
Bullied?
Bullied.
They had a job they got paid for.
They were saying that they got overworked because the volume of distribution that they were trying to achieve was...
They were pissed that the two owners were making a ton of money and growing a business, and they were just
Take
getting
that
simple
Take from
overtime.
that what you want. I'm just
As
telling
long as
you
they give me
what I
free
read.
beer, man, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just live there.
They're just financed by Joey. Thanks, Joey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Way to help out their endeavors.
My $500 investment is responsible for, I'd say, at least 90% of what they're doing these days.
Got a cute book out
So
of
what's
it.
their market look like? I mean, are they growing? Are they would you compare them? Have you looked at them compared to other?
So it's really hard with these private companies
Scottish-based
to
breweries.
like judge how they're actually performing because it's tough to find public
Equity.
documents.
Oh, that's fair. That makes sense.
And so they can say whatever they want in
Petition
terms of their
Congress.
valuation of their own company. But
Congress will force them to show us their tax returns.
I guess they are.
I see what you did there.
They were planning on going public in the UK. I don't know if that's actually happened yet or not, but I did see that will kind of drive these Equity for Punks investments down the tube as soon as they go public. The actual valuation of the company will come out, and people will realize that they've really just been donating their money rather than investing it.
Brewdog's IPO, or initial public offering date, is yet to be announced. It did say in 2021 they were aiming to go public on the London Stock Exchange, managed by Rothschild, but they have not, and they were waiting to see the impacts of the pandemic.
Yeah, I read that there's no exact date for the IPO, but it'll likely be soon. And that the Brewdog co-founders and chief executive James Watt say that the company would want to wait for better market conditions, aka we want to see everything booming before we announce it, because they probably are what you're saying.
I'm seeing
They're
shares.
afraid
though.
to announce and get publicly ridiculed for the gross overstep in their equity.
I'm seeing their shares though listed on here, like 6 pounds and 50 half pounds. I don't know what's the
You want me to do the
6.5 pounds, whatever that is. 6 pounds 50.
It's like a small dog.
6 pounds 50 ounces. Yeah, I don't know, but so it looks like they may be public there.
$8.09 is 6.5 pounds.
That makes me feel
just
really
didn't know
good
what
paying $50 for the shares that I bought.
Yeah, you could sell that for, as long as 650 pounds is equal to 500 American dollars. You're set, right?
I think Nick just proved that was not the case.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Yeah, I was just trying to help you feel better.
Sorry, buddy. That's a...
If you get the
Deep
chance,
drop.
which you do, because the only reason you're listening to this is because you know us. Sorry. The only reason you're listening to this
It's
is
okay.
because
I've
you
only
know
cleared
us.
my throat 30 times today.
If you get the chance, go to the Brewdog restaurant, brewery, tap room in Canal, Winchester. Have a beer, have a meal. Their food's pretty good.
You can also go to Franklinton too, on the west end of Columbus, and they have one now in New Albany. But those are not the hotels.
Are they out of Ohio in the U.S.?
I don't know.
Like, why here?
Yeah. Well,
That's a good question.
I know we were a big craft beer market, but I didn't realize we were
I know
that
I
big.
think it's
somebody-
just the transportation and distribution that we're at. The same reason that New Albany has, all these whatever's up there. Mike Jeffries, Les Wexner, distribution, Abercrombie & Fitch, all that stuff.
L Brands.
L Brands, limited. Same reason, Amazon is, do a lot. It's a good distribution place, centralized for the most part. I don't know.
I'm following on your train of thought. I just don't know.
But Canal, visit the Canal place if you can. It's worth it. Go there. It's a nice dinner night. Take your wife, take your kids. They're family friendly, dog friendly. It's the actual brewing facility. You can pay to take a tour. I've never done the tour. You can host events there.
Yeah, they have a museum. We celebrated my sister's birthday there.
Yeah, it's fun. And it's quite the experience. You can see a lot of most of the restaurant walls are shared glass walls with the brewery, and you can watch the production process. And the service is always great, and it's not terribly expensive. So head out there if you can and give it a shot.
They also do a lot of collabs too, kind of like what we're doing today. They do a lot of collabs with other microbreweries in the area.
Yeah.
So like they'll have it's almost like a drive-in, like when you go to. Well, none of our viewers
it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, those don't. Well, shut up. Sorry, you made me lose my train of thought. But they have almost like a drive-in menu, and you have 1 through 20 is all of the beers from Brewdog that are always on tap, and then they have collabs.
You mean like a chalkboard?
No, not a chalkboard. It's literally. Almost like a movie theater where you would go to a drive-in and they'd have a lighted sign with little inserted letters, and it's really cool and trendy looking. It's also vintage.
So you're describing the sign.
The sign where they have all the beers. Yes,
they have good food, good beer,
good food, good beer, good atmosphere,
and a great sign,
great service.
Also, around the holiday season, you can buy yourself an advent calendar, or you can buy it as a gift. It makes a great gift.
I got
one.
What
do they do in the advent?
I received one for Christmas. Twice? Once?
Just once. I did not shell out that much money for you 2 years in a row.
Well, how much are they each?
Ooh, it was...
Never ask somebody how much they spent
It
on a
was
gift.
too much. It was probably $125.
But it's a huge box.
Big box. New beer every day.
That's cool.
There were a couple days where you got
duds.
A sock, a pair of socks instead of a beer or something. It was probably
or
22 beers. A lot of sours, way more sours than I was hoping for. But they did have some cool collaborations. A lot of unique beers that you can't really buy a 6-pack
that I'd never seen. A couple were 12%. Cans of 12% beer or something that I was like, well, I guess I'm working from home today. Because I opened it in the morning.
Question, would this fit in one's refrigerator?
It is the size of a suitcase. It is
it's
giant
a big
box.
It looks like what is it? 25 days, 24 days.
24 days.
Advent? So it's a 24 pack of beer, but they're all kind of standing up. With they're not, the cans are not next to each other. They're kind of packaged. It's kind of cool. Look it up. Go give it a Google. I wish we could throw up a picture, but it's fun. It's a fun beer advent calendar that they do. But they do need to put all beers in there. Stop putting the pair of Brewdog socks. I don't want those. Sorry.
Yeah, those may have found their way to Goodwill.
Some people want a nice set of socks.
They're not nice
in the winter.
They weren't. They were just cheaper socks with Brewdog logos on them.
I guess they do something similar in January for people that decide to stop drinking. They do a non-alcoholic one. They call it a dry January survival kit.
I could give you that. It's just an empty cup. Here you
Just
go.
a bunch of
that sounds like a great
beers.
Here's all my empty cans from January. You loser. Have fun smelling them.
Sounds
just kidding. If you want to do dry January,
sounds pretty up the alley for the people that watch and listen to our podcast that have chosen to never drink beer again because of how illegitimate we are.
That.
Due to this podcast?
Due to the podcast. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I hate
like
this
I said, we have
so
people
much.
on two ends of the line. I don't want to say the S word because someone nearby will be triggered. Of the people that listen that want to either drink every day or the people that want to stop drinking because we're terrible. We don't want the people in the middle. We just want the two extremes.
I'll take them.
And
You'll
everyone
fill in
else,
the gaps.
They'll be
everyone else just go listen to Comics Over Coffee.
Yeah.
Everyone
pop on over. Where are you at, Joey? Where can our listeners and viewers catch Comics Over Coffee?
We are on iTunes and we're on Spotify. We were on SoundCloud for a minute, but we're not on there anymore.
Those bastards.
Well, falling out with SoundCloud.
I did have one question I wanted to ask you, just on behalf of the fans of your podcast everywhere.
Is it why?
Yes. Well, that was
why.
That was my
Why?
question off mic. I wasn't going to make you answer that in front of everyone, but no,
What's the
I
question?
just wanted to do a quick game of Desert Island. 3 beers, Desert Island. What are the 3 beers you're going to drink for the rest of your life?
Number 1 is Beck's.
Beck's?
Yeah, I love Beck's. I don't know, something about that.
Okay,
Beck's is for sure 1.
Do you want us to go 1 and 1, or should he do all 3?
1 and 1.
Let's do 1 and 1.
1 and 1. Yeah, sure.
Oh,
think it'd be
well,
more
if I thought I was getting 3 chances.
Yeah, let's just
No,
make this a quick.
you picked your next
quick,
one.
Quick beer draft for your desert island. That
Guinness.
sounds
O'Fallon.
fun.
Guinness for me, hands down.
What about O'Fallon's pumpkin beer? It's a desert island. Probably not great. That's a little hearty and rich, but it's still a really good beer.
I'm not picking your beer for you. You got to pick it.
I don't know if you're gonna want a pumpkin beer every day for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's so good though. It's such a good beer.
You will be living by a campfire the rest of your life, though, if you're on an island. So maybe it'll
Yeah,
be good.
so why not? Maybe
I
it's
say
a
Guinness.
nighttime beer.
I'm gonna do Guinness.
Yeah, Beck's, O'Fallon's, and then last I would choose.
Wait, if you did your second one.
Yeah,
right, so
O'Fallon's was my
my turn.
second.
My turn.
Okay, go ahead.
I will do. Oh man. I think I got to do Elvis juice. I like Elvis juice. Elvis juice.
Today's episode is brought to you by Brewdog.
Yeah. Especially if they give it to me for free.
Gosh, what is my last one gonna be?
I think I know. You got to have
Man.
kind of different ones. It's a desert island. You got to drink 3 beers the rest of your life. You don't want 3 Becks.
It's gonna have to be something.
I don't want 1
If I'm on
Beck's.
an island and it's gonna have to be something like that, then I'll probably just go like maybe Land Shark, because that's a beach beer. And if
Yeah.
I want to, I feel like I'm gonna have a pit of despair being stuck on a desert island the rest of my life. So I might as well drink something that makes me feel like I'm in a tropical place and I'm meant to be there.
Okay.
So maybe I'll go Land Shark.
What is a desert island?
It's an island off the coast of horny Africa.
Is that the entire like how do you have an island with no horticulture, right?
I think that it's supposed to be deserted island.
a
but-
desert island? Oh, so like cake?
Yeah,
Got it.
it's an island made of cheesecake.
Yeah.
So I'm allowed to have sugar the rest of my life?
No. It's a desert island. Sounds like a fun one. So I got Guinness.
Yeah, you got your last one.
I got Elvis juice just because it's strong and it's fruity a little bit, but it's good. Like good. I
Yeah, you're fruity.
came back from my hard working day on the chopping down trees, and then the last one. So I got a dark. I got a medial, and then I'm gonna try to do something
Economy.
crisp. Maybe like a Molson Canadian.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
From our second
just kind of
episode.
like a nice crisp lager almost. Right?
Okay, so what are your 3 then?
Yeah. Or your favorite.
How the turntables.
Or if we need to, you can do coffees too, because that's,
Oh, yeah.
that's your thing.
Let's hear about your coffees for all the ladies that like coffee.
Oh man,
dudes.
my top 3 coffees. I mean,
black
black
with
coffee,
cream.
Coffee with
liquor.
Bailey's and Tullamore Dew in it.
Yeah.
Maybe some coffee with a little bit of like peppermint bark rum chata.
Ooh.
No, I'm not a peppermint.
Oh, peppermint bark rum
That
chata.
actually sounds pretty good.
All right, now do your 3 beers.
My
Yeah.
3 beers. So I mean, I'm repeating one that you took. I would have to have Guinness on there. Guinness is going to be
So good.
one of my 3 for sure. Mango Cart. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
have
I've
ever
had
it.
that by Golden Road.
Oh, yeah. That
that's
is
actually
my
pretty good.
favorite
Macy
beer.
likes that one a lot.
Never had that.
It's my favorite, and it's tropical.
The spicy one's terrible though. Do not recommend.
Oh, I don't know.
The guava cart, it's really good though.
I have had the guava cart. That one's good. I did have the Brewdog mango beer recently that they've come out with in the last couple of years as well. It was not my favorite, but
What's that called? Do you remember?
I
think I remember
Something
it, too.
controversial, of course.
I don't
Touch My
remember.
Mangoes or something like that.
Yeah.
I guess I have an
I don't
internet
know.
machine.
Sexual
It's not
references is
that.
great. It's
But
either
no.
like something really dark and robust or something very savage.
My third beer would
Great
be
adjectives.
the Hofbrauhaus Hefeweizen because that is
that is
Oh,
good.
Hefeweizens.
That is-
Hefeweizens are good. We haven't even covered those yet, but that just goes back to Bavaria and Germany, of course. But those are great beers. I'm actually a huge favorite of wheat beers, but
They have a Hazy Jane mango. It's not what that wasn't it.
I don't usually-
Juicy ASAP. AF.
yeah,
No.
no.
I can't.
I
Remember.
don't
Let me
always
see if I can
put
find it.
I don't always put orange slices in a beer, but every once in a blue moon.
So yeah.
Nobody
Okay.
caught that.
So
Got
the
it.
other one was
Falling on deaf ears.
what was the last one? Guinness.
Guinness,
The mango
cart, and then
Hofbrauhaus
Hefeweizen.
Hefeweizens are good.
All right.
I feel like that gives me the giant mug from Hofbrauhaus as well. I can use
Yeah,
that
I have
to
one of those at my house.
kill some squirrels or something.
Yeah, there you go.
On your desert island.
Joey, thanks for joining us. I think this was a really cool and exciting.
Check out Comics Over Coffee. Give it a like. Give it a comment.
Subscribe, of course.
Yeah. We're all doing podcasts now. Everyone's doing podcasts, okay? So jump in, give him a shot. I keep hitting this microphone. I'm going to get rid of it. This will be our last podcast, so thank you for joining us on our journey. We'll talk to you soon in the next episode. Later.
Ciao.